Hey friends, it's Aki Dearest. So a lot of people have been wanting me to review an anime of this season called Kuzu no Honkai, or Scum's Wish, and originally I wanted to add this to an Otaku Monthly Favorites. I wanted to just quickly review it there and recommend it to you guys, but as I've progressed through this anime, there is so much that I am so struck by that I just wanted to dedicate an entire video to. So first off, Scum's Wish is about two high school students that are dating in replacement for someone else that they love. That's a rough relationship. Imagining dating someone just to replace somebody else. You look at someone only thinking about someone else. More so, they agree to it. They wholeheartedly admit, okay, I don't love you, but we're in the same predicament here, so why don't we just date just to fill in this empty gap? And that is a very rough start to a romance, and it's so unique to me because usually how a romance goes, let alone a successful romance, between the viewer and the story, there's always one question. Are these two gonna end up together? And you get to see the genuine love that these two have for one another and the struggles that they go to. And at the end, whether or not they end up together, you've seen what they've gone through, you're left off thinking, oh man, that sucks, I wish they could have been together, or oh, I'm so glad that they're finally together. You see how genuine that they are for one another. They are perfect for each other. But with Kuzu no Honkai, it starts off with an unhealthy relationship, and it's an open, unhealthy relationship. I want you to think about the English title for this, Scum's Wish. What does that mean to you? It's pretty self-explanatory to me. It's the belonging, or not the belonging, the longing for someone that you can't have. So love will open up the scummiest parts of you, because remember a time, if not you, then somebody else that you knew was so infatuated with someone else that they were willing to put aside their morality and their integrity all aside just to have this one person. The concept of loving someone that you can't have and not being able to take rejection well. That's what Kuzu no Honkai is. That's what Scum's Wish is going over. The darkest and ugliest parts of love will make a man or a woman do crazy things. And this is a concept that we've seen in other romance. Like, let's take a classic like Notebook. We see the guy from the very beginning, he's wanted this girl for so long that he will go to extended lengths just to have her, leaving a lot of the audience and a lot of the female audience being, why can't you be like this guy? Why can't you be like Ryan Gosling? Kuzu no Honkai doesn't go over that. This is going over the very truthful, dark parts of what love will do to you. Love is not always this happy-go-lucky thing. If that person does not love you back and you can't take rejection well, this is the part where your heart starts to deceive you. Now, don't get me wrong, true and genuine love between two people is showing that they're not only a couple, but also a team. A genuine couple are people that are willing to swallow their pride for the benefit of the other person and the survival of the relationship. That's a good and healthy relationship that is of both parties. This one, on the other hand, is a mutual agreement to agree that they are not in love and that they want somebody else. How can you go through a relationship like that? Other themes that this anime will go through is the concepts of the blurred lines and the gray area between love and lust. And this is a problem that happens so many times, and especially but not limited to students in middle school and in high school, because those are the ages where you're experimenting with, you know, the opposite or same sex, especially in this generation. So many people will experience that once you've chosen who you want to be with, it has to be that person. Not everyone does this. Some people will be like, okay, you don't want me, well then I'll go fuck off. But in worst case scenario, if you can't take rejection well and you still want that person, Kuzu no Honkai goes over the darkest things that love will do to you. Whether it's to date someone to make that other person jealous, or whether it's to date someone just to replace that person. Or as a plus, if that person happens to be in a relationship, you're gonna go out of your way to maybe even demolish that relationship. And a lot will argue, well then that's not love. If you truly love somebody, then all you would want is their happiness. Now, I'm no expert, but from my experiences and from what I've learned, my only answer for any kind of theme of romance on why things happen the way they do is because love is complicated, and that can be taken in a good way or in a bad way, or a little bit of both. Sometimes you can look at a couple and say, that person deserves better. I know that that person deserves someone that will take care of them, that will love them. That person doesn't want them. They're not genuine about them. In the end, you don't know. Or in the end, maybe you're right, but it's really just a personal choice. You can't help who you fall in love with, and that's what Scum's Wish is gonna go over as well. The people that you fall in love with, nobody may agree with you, but you, for some reason, in your heart, want to be with this person. Another thing that will lead to it is love is blind. Even if you're in a relationship and that person is absolutely terrible to you, like they do not care about you, they will abuse you, you will choose not to see it because of how infatuated you are with that person. And whether or not you may know it deep down, you are at the very least trying to save yourself from any more pain. Because for you, or maybe that person that you know that has gone through this, there is one goal when it comes to being in love with someone or in lust with someone, and it is to have that particular person. And with a lot of people, they will go to any length to be with this person. Now, Scum's Wish, it doesn't go over just the dark parts of love and what it will do to you, but also the lighter side. It will teach you that because you know the darkest parts, that you will know better of what it means to genuinely care about someone. Another struggle that you're going to see is that these people do not know what it is like to kiss someone that they genuinely love. Imagine that mentality though. You've never kissed somebody that you've never been in love with. You may have kissed somebody, but you've never loved anyone. Some may be humble with it, being like, oh, well, I'm just waiting for the right one. And some, it may hurt, because deep down, you may see this in some characters, but it starts to really hurt them, because I feel like maybe it's because they feel like they're throwing themselves around. They are very, very prideful in themselves, that they will not admit to any of this being wrong. But they will continue to do so just to have the person that they want. And that is just one hell of a love story. Now, I wanted to dive deeper into the romance genre, let alone just the basics of a romance story, and let alone a successful romance story. Now, as I've said before, a romance usually is keen to do this. Two main characters that may or may not end up together, and that is the big question that sets the story with the viewer. Are these two going to end up with one another? A romance story is not just about two people that love one another. There has to be external or outside things that are influencing the problems that are arising in this relationship to lead to the decision. For example, let's just take a classic one, such as Romeo and Juliet. Romeo and Juliet would not have been as successful if it wasn't for the family feud. Without outside elements affecting this relationship, the story would have just been two people in love. It would have just been like this mushy kind of story, and it wouldn't have been as successful. People would just kind of walk away, because it's like, okay, we get it, you're in love. You get to see love when you see the struggles that go behind it. By the end of the story, the couple may end up together, or something tragic might happen, or they might choose not to be together. And it leaves the viewer there kind of probably being like, why? You could have been together. And ending it off here, whether you're watching, you know, non-anime romance titles, or you're watching romances like Scum's Wish, whatever you're watching, you may or may not agree with what happens in the end, or you may or may not agree what happens during the process of it. But I think that it's really just going into my philosophy anyway, that love is complicated, and you can question it all you want. You can question the people that are together. At the end of it all, it was a personal choice. They did what they thought was best for them, and love may do some crazy things. And I am no expert on relationship advice, but as far as writing a romance and portraying it into a story, I think showing that love is complicated, not just like the crazy and dark parts that Scum's Wish gives you, but how difficult it is on the journey and maintaining the relationship is, that it's all not just this magical world of just being with the person you love and you're both eternally happy. It's the survival of happiness together. At least that's just what I think. That's my opinion. But yeah, this anime and, you know, this season, I love it. You know, let's just put handshakers off to the side. I love this season. I love this anime, and it's one of the most unique ways to portray romance. I haven't seen it done this way. I haven't seen this much sexual tension and physical intimacy the way that Scum's Wish does it, but I highly suggest that you guys give it a try. Also, this video isn't sponsored, but if you guys are interested, I do have the Scum's Wish manga on my list that I'll put in the link below on Bookwalker. So if you guys want to also read Scum's Wish, because I heard that the story is also just as impeccable, if not more, then feel free to look in the description below. But yeah, my god, let me know of what you think of Scum's Wish. Did it enlighten you on something? Has it shown you anything new? Or is it something that you've probably seen before? Let me know all of that in the comment section down below. So, I appreciate you guys for watching. Subscribe to my channel for more anime and otaku related content. And I will see you guys in the next video. Bye!